Okay. I was able to get another one.
Okay. I was
Oh.
saying before the meeting went off that is it because
Yes,
it is heavy that it's behaving like that? Okay.
the
So
Excel.
that means that kind of data, it will make sense to just use it with SQL.
I didn't get you.
I said,
Hello?
does it mean that that kind of data? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I said, does it mean that kind of data should just be used with SQL? Because it looks like it is too much for Excel to handle.
It's much for Excel. Excel is just like an optimization application for data distance. So it can accommodate data, but for you to start doing the processes and everything, it will take more from your memory, from your system memory, in order for you to perform well for large data. So now I have some details now. Can you tell me what you can suggest based on what you can see? What type of data am
I
I dealing with here? Is it car
no,
related or what?
the one just showed us.
Yes, the one I'm showing now. Can you see the one I'm showing now?
No, I can't see your screen. No.
Okay, sorry. That's
Yes.
all right. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can see
All
it
right.
now.
What can you tell me about the data you are saying?
This is like a VAT, debit, credit, like an account.
Finance related data set.
Yes, finance. Yes.
Can it be used in the manufacturing construction company? Hello,
I
baby.
don't think
How
so.
are you? Sorry, I'm taking your mommy's time.
No problem, ma'am. I don't think it can be used,
Because in the
but
manufacturing company, they are not using this, except if they have
yes,
finance units, right?
yes, finance related issues. Yes,
And their finance, they are the ones that can have similar data sets.
yes, the account
Now,
department.
this data is somehow specific.
Yes,
It was not like the other ones I uploaded that were having
like
20
general.
something columns with
Yes,
thousands or even millions of records.
information. Yes,
Yes. So this one is specific. Now look at the dates. You can see this date is already formatted in a way,
yes,
but is not using the one that is compatible with Excel. Am I right?
yes,
How do you
yes.
know
You
that? How do you know that?
because that may should be a number. It should have this slash. There is a format
Is
for Excel.
is not necessary for it to be in numbers. Do you know why I said that?
Uh,
There are different
no,
dates. There are different date
okay, that
formats.
is
Now
long
I'm
date.
picking the column now. This is where I can check.
You check the date.
Can you see it?
Yes. It's in general, yes. It
So
should
it
be in date
has to show that it's having maybe a short date or a long date.
or a long
And the
true.
other way you can format it is by you clicking on this arrow, coming down to this
Yes.
place, picking the format style that you want.
Yes.
It's not restricted to you picking any of this alone. You can go ahead and pick with location. Are we together?
Yes, I'm here fully.
Okay. Baby, we are sorry, we'll soon round up. So now, I just want to leave it like this. It's in English, it's in Nigeria English. So I'm going to leave it like this, but I will focus on using this as my short date. You can see, anytime I click on any of these, it's going to show a date format that is already in place. Look at this one again. You have to do the formatting. You have to format it in a particular order. That's having date as your format style. The debit. What can you say about the debit?
The debit is in the decimal points are not uniform. Some are in two decimal place, some one. It's not. It's in let's check. It's not even in numbers. It's in general.
That's what I expected you to first of all say.
Yes, it's not
You
in
have to
numbers. It's in
change it
general.
to currency.
Numbers. Currency. Yes.
Yes, you have to change it
Currency.
to currency. It's because I was using Naira as my currency before. That's why
Okay.
it's able to recognize it. So you can change it to dollar, you can change it, you can see there are other formats there. So the same thing with these ones. You can see it has increased it to 2 decimal places. So I may decide to pick the last 2 columns together by clicking on the F and pressing down on my left key. Are we together?
Yes,
So
we are together.
I have currency here. I've changed that. Now, when you look at this data, you agree with me is a lot is clean in the sense that for each entry you have, you don't have any missing value.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes,
I
you're
will go
correct.
ahead now and transform to a table. My table, does my table have header? I want to delete this. I want to delete it. I want to clear it. You know how to clear? Have you
Clear
been using
content.
Excel before? I'm asking so that I can.
Yes. I've been using Excel
Okay,
before.
okay,
Yes.
that's good. So let me go ahead now.
Clear content. Yes.
I've selected format. You can see is not recognizing the first
Row.
the header because it's not on the topmost.
It's not on the first. Yes.
So let me do a back function. Then I do a delete. So let me go back. My table is having this. I'm going to name last. Now take a look at this. When you check these details, you will notice that we only have May and June here. I want to see if I have
Yes.
a blank distance.
There is one blank. But let me see. There is a
There
blank.
is no blank. You know, I said it that this table is correct.
Yes. Yes. There's no blank.
So I'm going to um I can perform formula this thing to count the number of entries for May 6th of May, blah blah blah, using formulas. But I want to use my pivot table. Insert. You come to insert. You may decide to choose this recommended pivot table, or you come down to this place from range. So I have this. Sometimes if you're working for the management of an organization, they may require that you get your pivot table ready before you start working on your chart. And there are some that are more specific that they will say, oh, is the end the results we are looking for? You have to give us the report in a dashboard. So I want to have that on a new sheet. I don't want it on this sheet. So I'll come here. You can see pivot table. Field. What field do I need? I think I'm going to need my posting date. I can say, let it come here. By default, it's going to count the numbers of entries you have for each day. You may decide to set it further by saying, oh, I only want the maximum. Or you decide to come here and say you want to do some calculations, depending on what you are trying to project. You can see rank smallest to largest, meaning that it's going to do the count from the smallest value to the highest value. Now, if you are not still satisfied with the format that that column will take, you will come down to this place and pick the specific format. For instance, before we transform our data to a table, I put us through on how you can change the format of that column to date. What if it was still on general and I simply went ahead to transform to table without changing the format on it? What it simply means is that anytime I need that particular column, I will need to reformat it in a more appropriate form. So that being said, when you now want to, you keep the default. Let's keep the default on this. That being said, I may then rename into dates. Or rename it to maybe balance day or something that is more suitable for me. So I'm going to come here. If I want to filter my values, I'll come to this place. Do I want to filter based on the top 10? Do I want to filter based on the last 10 or the bottom 10? I'm okay with the top 10. Okay. Do I want the top 5 or the top 3? This is where I can set it. Which item? Is it in terms of percentage? Is it in terms of sum? It's okay the way it is on item. Now, you can see because we set our values on count, that is why by default it's showing us count. I could decide to have 3 or 4 columns. Then I will need to start adding values to other columns. Now look at my top 5 days. What this simply means is that on the 19th, or I didn't even put it on. Let me draw the chart of this. I can also set it that from the highest to the sorts from the highest to the smallest.
The lowest, yes. So that means that I will be the one to know the kind of analysis I want to do.
Yes, you
Then
have to
go
know
for
the type of data you have.
hmm.
If you are
Interesting.
if you are seeing a job ad outside, you don't just go for it. You have to understand the industry's like. And if it's like an outsourced form of a recruitment exercise, there are some companies that will require that you do some assessment. They will provide you with some data sets, ask you questions based on that. Some, they may give you some hours to project and then share your portfolio or your dashboard link or the likes or reports link. So in that case, you have an idea on what your your company required of the data set. So the questions they ask will determine what they want you to perform with those data sets. So you have to understand your data. There is no two way about it. There's no two way about it. Look at the automobile data I shared initially, previously. You can still perform counts on them. The same process, the same way I did with this. Now, another way is by you using formula. How do you use formula? There are some formulas you need to familiarize yourself with, like the count formula. There is count.
Discount A.
There is count. There is sum. There is average.
Mid. Max.
There is mean. There is max. For me to do a mean, I'll simply type this and do an open bracket. Let's say for balance. You can see I've selected the whole column. Then I simply close my bracket. It's going to show me 0 because I did not format it and my table is already the on the chart mode. So I will need to format this set when you look through, you will find out that we have a minimum of 0. Let me change it to, you can see, it's going to be 0. Now I want to check for my maxi. I'll simply type this. Do a maxi of this. You can see the maxi is still not formatted based on the Naira format.
Yes.
Can you see? If I want to confirm if my selection is okay, I may go ahead and do Control F.
Filter.
This figure. How come I want to do it back? I want to roll back. I pick the figure. I go to Control Find. You can see all I need to do is select the color and do Find. It's really happening. Okay.
It is there.
You said
I said it should be there.
it should be there because he picked maximum.
Yes.
So there is a way you do you confirm what you have. Just a minute. Now I want to calculate the average. You know I can't perform average on dates. You know that.
No. Yes, yes. You can.
So I can perform average on this.
Currency, yes. Numbers.
Look at it, 6,000. If you are not too fine with the number of decimal places, you can use this to decrease it. It's going to round it up, or you make it to a whole number. You can see, but I want it to be 2 decimal places so that I can have my Naira sign on it. For some, you simply put equal to. Anytime you are using formula, any form of formula, you put equal to. Let's say debit. Some debit. This is it. Equal to some this credit. You can see. Equal to some balance. You can see what you are having. Now, this count can work appropriately for this. Count
Yes.
the number is going to give you the result of everything. But if I'm not saying count if pivot plus pivot is this. What is the condition for you to do that count? If I want to pick 10th of May, I simply do that. So what it's saying is this, that I will not have more than 5 entries for 10th of May.
Yes.
That is what it means. I may decide to have count ifs. Count ifs. You put an S to it. It means you have two sets of conditions. Now I want to say count if posting is night, comma, count if posting is this down to like maybe 10th 30th of May. I think I have something like that. I have 10th of May. I should have something like 10th of May. But it's not up here. So let me just pick one that is visible just to save time. There's a mistake. That is why it's giving me this error message. There's going to be a mistake somewhere. So I'm picking the second column. Okay. Now look at this second formula. I'm saying count. If we have this entry here on posting date as well as here, it means it's going to be an AND operator, not an OR. That is why it's not adding everything together. It's only adding the ones that have the same date. You can see I've picked it. Do you understand what I just did?
Yes, I get it.
Okay. Please, do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
You use the count if, and I understand.
The count if, not count if. I just use count ifs. Look at it. You can see the S on it.
Yes. That's why I said the count ifs.
Yes. So it's going to work as an AND operator.
Yes.
We're about to end our class now. I'm going to be sharing an assignment in the group. So please, kindly I will give a guideline on how we'll do the submission. Probably create a directory on our drive, Google Drive, and share a link. Please, if you have any question, any suggestion, because I really appreciate the fact that you started, you joined early, and you've been the one with me all through this time. So please, I'm open to suggestion. I'm open to questions.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm waiting.
Okay, I don't have any question. It's just that maybe the timing of the class didn't make most people join, or maybe because Nigeria played today. So because I just saw the
I had
class
no,
link after the ball.
I had no
Ma?
idea. I had no idea that there was a match this evening.
Ah, there was a
Because
serious
while I
match.
was
Oh.
preparing, I was hearing some people making jubilating.
Mm, yes, it was a tough one. So I'm sure most people would have forgotten because of the jubilation and all.
Okay.
So it was really a remarkable match. So that might be the reason.